So the question, what is chairwork psychotherapy, really builds on the question of what is chairwork to begin with. And chairwork is actually rooted in psychodrama originally. And it's a way of working with parts of the self. It's a way of working with the relationships with others. And I think more recently it's become a way of telling stories that are profoundly painful. Dr. Moreno, I understand, who created Chairwork to begin with, one of the first ways he used it was with a woman whose father had died and who was grieving the death of her father. And he said to her, why don't you sit in this chair? And this empty chair symbolizes your father who's not here. And it was this story of grief was one of the most, such an interesting way of using chairwork, a powerful way of using chairwork. This is one of the foundational stories of chairwork. Fritz Perls learned chairwork from Moreno and used it in many creative ways during the 1960s. He was focused on both relationships and the inner work of the inner parts of the person. And would have them move to the different chairs and become these different parts, and have these different parts talk to each other. There's a story I like, which Michael Miller tells about seeing Fritz Perls in action in the 1960s. And he's at a small training, a small gathering in somebody's house, a small workshop. And Fritz Perls is working with a woman who's had a dream. And this woman is very heavy and very big. And she has a dream about a whale, and the whale has become trapped in the sand, what we call a beached whale. And Perls says to her, I want you to come to this chair, and I want you to become the whale. And I'm sort of extrapolating or imagining what he said. He said, but I want you to be the whale and speak from the experience of the whale. And she said, I'm trapped. I'm stuck. Nobody can help me. I'm all alone here. There's nothing I can do. It's useless. I'm going to die. And Michael Miller, watching this, and the whole people in the room watching this said, something extraordinary happened when she did this. As she became this whale, they could sense the depression, the pain that this woman, that this child, as a girl, all her life had carried with her. The shame, the teasing, all the humiliation. And then Fritz Perls, in such a beautiful and clever moment, said, come over here. And now I want you to be the sea. Now I want you to be the ocean. And of course, in the dream, the whale is by the ocean. So he picks something from the sea itself. He says, become that. And she says something to the effect of, I am the ocean. I am the sea. I am filled with life. I am filled with beauty. I am filled with power. I'm one of the most important things in the entire world. And he said, as he watched her shift and say these words, she became like another person. He said it was one of those remarkable things he'd ever seen, from this depressed child all alone to this being filled with life. And these were the kinds of things that Fritz Perls did, the sort of the beauty of this work of playing with polarities and playing with images. And this is where her present life was, but this was also a possibility. And what makes this, I think, especially interesting is that he picks an image that's already inside of her. It's not like a CBT, cognitive restructuring. It's like this image exists inside of her, which means this energy and this possibility existed inside of her. So what would be the therapy for this? To live your life as if this were also true. What would it be like if I walked through the streets and carried myself like the sea? It's just an astonishing idea. Our work with Chairwork has been much more, I think, clinically oriented, focusing on specific problems. And we essentially crystallized the chairwork practice of many people into the 4 dialogues. And the 4 dialogues also made it possible to create a standalone chairwork psychotherapy. And the 4 things we do are to invite somebody to sit in a chair and be an emotion. Be your anger, be your sorrow, be your fear. Or to be a part. I'm the part that wants to get high. I'm the part that cuts myself. I'm the part that is angry. I'm the part that uses drugs. We can talk to that part, interview that part. Who are you? What are you all about? I'm the creative part. I'm the artistic part. We can talk to that part. So it's both the expression of emotional states and a way to talk to parts, understand them, and to bring them into the therapy room. We also can do parts talking to each other. Many of us wrestle with conflicts. I always think about the idea of a playful idea. Where should I go on vacation? Should I go to San Francisco or should I go to Florida? This part wants to go to San Francisco, this part wants to go to Florida. They can talk to each other. Right? Or more profoundly, should I stay in this relationship or should I leave? We developed, perhaps more uniquely to us, using the chairs to tell a story. Inviting patients to go from wherever they're sitting to another chair and tell the story of a trauma, of a mistreatment, of a difficult memory. And we, after you play with that, often using third-person storytelling, first-person storytelling, but basically we go to another place and we tell the story again. And the chair becomes a place of safety to release these incredible burdens. And the last way we use chair work is for relationships. To talk to people from the past, talk to people from the present, talk to people from the future. Talk to a deceased grandfather, talk to your spouse, talk to an unborn child. So these are the 3 dimensions that we play with. And we have found that as we get more comfortable with these 4 ways of using chairs, we find almost all the psychotherapy problems can be addressed. And what we are happy to have discovered is that we have the building blocks for psychotherapy just with these chairs. So I hope that gives you just a little bit of a feel for chairs and what we do with them. And I hope that's of interest. Thank you.